Today, we're ranking every peptide that falls into the muscle building category from S tier all the way down to F tier. The list is based on three things: research support, muscle building effectiveness, and risk to reward ratio. Let's start off with our GH secretagogues, which, for those that don't know, work by stimulating your body to produce more growth hormone naturally. And one of the most beginner-friendly and safe GH peptides is Sermorelin, which is a synthetic version of the first 29 amino acids of your body's natural GHRH. It's going to stimulate your pituitary gland to produce more natural growth hormone. It's been studied for decades and works like a teammate with your body's natural GH rhythm. Research suggests users see improvements in sleep quality, lean muscle support, recovery, and even skin thickness over time. When it comes to muscle building specifically, growth hormone directly supports protein synthesis, helps your body recover faster between sessions, and creates an environment that makes building lean tissue significantly easier. So the idea with Sermorelin is great. But unfortunately, it has a very short half-life and exits your system within minutes after entering it. So you need larger or multiple doses daily just to see real changes in muscle tissue. And the GH response it produces is good, but weaker compared to newer GH secretagogues. It laid the foundation for a lot of what came after it, and is great for beginners, but compared to everything else on this list, it's going to go into C tier. Quick reminder, my free guide is linked in the description if you want to dive deeper into peptides. Next up in our GH secretagogue rankings, GHRP6. It works through the ghrelin receptor, which is the same receptor responsible for hunger signaling, to trigger a GH pulse. Now, growth hormone from GHRP6 does everything you want for muscle building, from supporting protein synthesis to accelerating recovery to helping preserve lean tissue. And it also has a stronger GH pulse than Sermorelin. But my favorite part especially is the effect it has on your appetite. It dramatically increases hunger as a direct result of the ghrelin receptor activation. For most people, that might be a bad thing, but for anyone who struggles to reach their daily protein intake, that appetite increase might be exactly what you need. More GH and calories going in at the same time creates a uniquely powerful environment for building muscle that no other peptide on this list can do. The downside is its cortisol and prolactin spike. Cortisol breaks down muscle tissue, and prolactin disrupts hormonal balance, two things you don't want elevated when your goal is building muscle. So it's important you stay on top of that when using GHRP6. But the appetite benefit and stronger GH pulse keep it relevant enough to sit in B tier. Next is Hexarelin. It produces one of the strongest GH pulses of any peptide in its class, and we already talked about the pros that come with elevated GH support. But the stronger the pulse, the more pronounced those effects become. So in terms of GH elevation, Hexarelin is great, but that huge pulse has a trade-off. It desensitizes extremely fast, which in simpler terms means your body adapts to it very quickly. And with that comes the effects from the GH pulse diminishing way before you've had enough time to accumulate meaningful results. So you get a strong start, but then a rapid decline in effectiveness. It also spikes cortisol and prolactin like GHRP6, but way more aggressively. So on one hand, you're getting a powerful GH pulse, but on the other, it's actively working against your own muscle building goals. I've had lots of friends with bad personal experiences with Hexarelin, and when there's a bunch of other peptides on this list that can do the same thing better and cleaner, it's going into D tier. Up next, Tesamorelin, an FDA-approved GHRH analog that stimulates natural GH production. But what makes it different from everything else we've covered is that GH actually goes to work on your body's visceral fat, which is actually somewhat dangerous fat packed around your organs that quietly destroys your hormonal environment. Most people don't realize that carrying excess visceral fat is actively fighting their muscle-building goals because it's tanking insulin sensitivity, driving inflammation, and suppressing the anabolic signals your body needs to grow. That's what's so great about Tesamorelin. As visceral fat drops, your hormonal environment cleans up, and your body becomes a significantly more efficient muscle-building machine. Research backs the fat reduction. It has a clean safety profile, And because it's the only peptide that can specifically target visceral fat to optimize your hormonal environment, Tesamorelin lands in A tier. Lastly in this category, CJC-1295 and Ipamorelin blend. Ipamorelin works through the ghrelin receptor to trigger a clean pulse of growth hormone, not a pulse that comes with a cortisol spike or prolactin increase. CJC extends how long that GH signal stays active. So instead of a quick pulse, your body produces elevated growth hormone for a much longer time period. And sustained GH elevation is what actually changes body composition. Short pulses that clear your system quickly give your body a signal, but sometimes that's not enough to capitalize on. CJC is basically there to give your body the time it needs to use that GH for protein synthesis, tissue repair, and lean muscle development. Research suggests users experience improvements in muscle recovery, body composition, sleep quality, and lean tissue over time. The safety profile is one of the best on this entire list. You can run this stack consistently and sustainably, which makes it great for long-term muscle building. And it's one of the most reliable and most researched GH stacks, which is why we're putting CJC-1295 and Ipamorelin blend in A tier. We're officially done with the GH secretagogues, and it's time to move on to IGF-1. Think about everything we just covered. Those all work to raise GH so your liver can convert it into IGF-1. That's the whole point. IGF-1 is the actual muscle-building signal. IGF-1 LR3 walks straight through the door that every other peptide on this list has been knocking on. The LR3 modification keeps it circulating for up to 20 to 30 hours. That's a full day of your muscle cells sitting in an environment primed to absorb nutrients and turn them into tissue. Every meal you eat during that window is being directed toward muscle rather than fat. Your body isn't choosing between building and storing. On IGF-1 LR3, the decision has already been made for you. People who run this talk about strength jumps that don't feel gradual, muscle fullness that shows up within the first week, recovery that shortens to the point where rest days feel optional. It's not subtle and it's not slow. But, like I've stated in previous videos, this peptide shares some behavior with insulin and blood sugar, and I highly advise you to do more research outside of this video if IGF-1 LR3 seems intriguing to you. It's one of the very few peptides that pushes muscle growth rather than supporting it, which is why we're putting it in S tier. Now, sadly, every person alive has a genetic limit on how much muscle they can build because of myostatin receptors, which is a protein your body produces specifically to stop you from getting too big. Your genetics set that ceiling, and for most naturals, no matter how hard they train, they eventually hit it and stop progressing. But of course, there's a peptide for that. Follistatin 344 works by blocking myostatin, which opens up muscle growth beyond what your biology previously allowed. People who run it describe gains that feel categorically different, not just faster, but operating in a range that used to feel out of reach. Stack it with anything else on this list, and those peptides suddenly have more room to work with than they ever did before. But the human research on this peptide is still building, and that matters. It isn't as established as IGF-1 LR3 on the data side, but the mechanism is sound. The science points in one direction, and the concept of follistatin basically boosting the benefits of every other peptide when paired together lands it in S tier. Last category we are going to discuss is recovery. These two peptides don't compare to anything else on this list for muscle growth, but in my opinion, they are the absolute best for overall recovery and bone health. BPC-157 and TB-500. BPC has some of the most compelling repair and regeneration research in the entire space. New blood vessel formation, accelerated tissue healing, gut repair, joint recovery. TB-500 works at the cellular level, rebuilding damaged tissue from the inside out. The chronic injury that won't budge. The joint that's been quietly limiting your training for years. These two address that in a way almost nothing else can. But muscle building is the category, and the criteria is direct. Neither one tells your muscles to grow. Neither one shifts your hormones toward an anabolic state. Neither one puts nutrients into muscle tissue or removes a ceiling on growth. What they do is keep the machine running, and that has real value in a complete protocol, but not enough to climb higher on this specific list. So, although I love these two, for this list specifically, they are going to fall into C tier. And there you have it. Every major muscle-building peptide ranked and explained. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to dive deeper into peptides, the guide in the description is for you. As always, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.